Hi YouTube, it's Lena, and I'm here today with the top 5, bottom 5 makeup empties of 2021. Now, this is what I do as a version of my yearly makeup favorites because I figure by the time I have gone through something, I know exactly how I feel about it, for better or worse. Now, this was first started by Rebecca S. or Panty and Stuff. I will link her down below. I asked her if I could do this because honestly I thought this was brilliant, and she said it was okay. And I did this, I know, last year and I think the year before, and I will link my previous videos down below as well. But this is what, like I said, this is what I do instead of just a traditional yearly favorites, because I pan makeup and skincare and whatnot all the time. If you would like to see a version of this with, say, skincare, body care, and hair care, I will happily do so as well, because this year especially, I still have all of my empties from all of those other categories, because I will be doing a year-end empties video, not just with makeup, but one for skincare, one for hair care, and body care, because I am insane. Now, I guess I will go ahead and get the negative out of the way, because let's try to end things on a positive note. Now, I haven't technically finished everything that I plan on finishing this year, but I went through both what I think I'm going to finish this month and what I've already finished, and I think this is the definitive list one way or the other. Now, for the bottom 5, first up, I picked something strictly because of the packaging. I don't think they sell this in this kind of packaging anymore. This was actually for a subscription box of some variety. I got it in a swap, but the packaging annoyed me so much it made me not really enjoy my experience with the primer, so I believe it qualifies. This is the VDL Lumelayer Primer in the Fresh color, because I believe they sell 2 or 3 different colors of it. Now, it is just a glowy primer, and this was nice to wear as far as on like low makeup days. That's when I usually wear these glowy primers, but this is a glass bottle with no pump, no mechanism of any kind to get it out of here other than just beating it against your freaking hand. Even a freaking nail polish brush would have been better than this. And as you can see, it gunked up all along the sides, which was kind of gross and just drove me crazy while I was using it. I was very happy to get it finished up. They fortunately do not sell the full size like this, and even the mini sizes that you can purchase from them come in a squeezy tube. So I don't know what the hell they were thinking packaging it like this, because now I don't want to purchase the full size or the mini size or have anything to do with this primer ever again. Now, the next thing is something that I would not repurchase anyway, because it is from a, well, their cruelty-free status is questionable at best, but this concealer still pissed me off, so it goes in here. This is the Morphe Concealer. I will insert the full name here because I don't know it, but this is a fairly new concealer. Like, it's not old by any means. Like, they put it out semi-recently, and I was good. I even took out the stopper to get out as much as I could, and I don't know why. Because normally when I don't like a product, I don't bother with trying to get every last little bit. But I managed to make this work as a face concealer, and I think just out of habit, I yanked out the stopper and kept on going with it. I thought I liked this when I first got it, because I tried it a few times under my eyes, and I remember like not being super impressed by it, but liking it fine. Because I remember that this didn't have quite as much coverage as I wanted. Yeah, when I was putting, and I haven't had this for very long. I've had this for probably about a year tops, maybe a year and a half. It's not that old. And it was less than a year old when I was using it up. But this got nasty and crepey under my eyes every time I wore it, and I couldn't get the coverage that I wanted out of it, so I just wound up using it on my face, mostly just to get rid of it. I kind of treated it, even though it wasn't quite the right shade for me to do that, as a highlighting concealer by putting it like down the center of my face and all that kinds of crap, just to get rid of it. I was so happy when this was done. And like I said, I shouldn't have even bothered with popping out not the concealer, the stopper of the concealer, because it was awful. Speaking of products that I wouldn't even purchase again if they were good because of the brand, this is the Clinique Chubby Lash Fattening Mascara. Now, Clinique is one of those brands that I really wish would go cruelty-free. I love most of their skincare. And I like some of their makeup products. Their Almost Lipstick and Black Honey was one of my favorites. Thankfully, there are well-known dupes out there at this point, so I don't have to worry about it as much. This I would not recommend, and it is still available. I did check that once I was going through it, but this brush doesn't pick anything up. Like, I don't know what this is supposed to do, but like if I press against it, I can get product off, as you can see. But just trying to use this was a pain in the ass to get product off of. So the brush sucks, and I didn't see anything fattening about my lashes. Fattening usually means a volumizing mascara, and this didn't do crap for my lashes. Now maybe it had gotten a little old, so that happens sometimes, but I tried reviving this with, what is it, contact solution? Didn't help. Like, it wasn't the fact that the mascara was dry inside. As you saw, I could still get product on my finger when I pressed against it, and it was not dry or anything like that. It's just a shitty mascara. Don't recommend. Would not suggest getting it. And next, I'm gonna have to insert a picture of this because I finished it. But this is the bronzer from the Physicians Formula Bronze Booster Little Trio palette, the matte version. Now, the contour is fine. The highlighting setting powder is fine. Technically, the formula of this is fine. This was just a shade that didn't really work for my skin tone. Yeah, as y'all can see, I'm pale. I'm very pale. I can literally glow in the dark. If you shine like a black light on me especially, I will glow in the freaking dark. This was a little too orange and a little too warm, and I'm fairly neutral leaning warm, so I could usually get away with warmer toned things, but not this. I did not enjoy using it up. I was glad the day that I finished it off. I was definitely very happy to see this go by the end. And finally, for the stuff I didn't like, this might be the thing I hated the most panning. I hate panned this. And I know when I definitely talk to other people online and they say, should I just get rid of this versus hate panning it? I tell them in a heartbeat, don't hate pan something, just throw it out. Nobody cares. This is $1. I still hate panned it because I am a determined asshole. I should probably tell you what this is. This is the LA Colors Conceal Correct, technically concealer in the highlighter shade. Now, I had this as a liquid highlighter, and I used this to mix in with my foundation. And how I had to do that because of the packaging is take it out on the wand and like stripe it all over my face and then put my foundation on and kind of mix it together like that. Now, the shade of this is fine. Mixing it in with the foundation, annoying packaging aside, is fine. What made this an absolute hell to pan? It stinks. It has stunk since the day I bought it. And I don't think that it had gone bad or anything like that because it never broke me out or anything like that. I think this thing just stinks. And I have liked a lot of stuff from LA Colors before. Not this. And I would never try one of the other concealers from this range because they have like different color correcting concealers, like a green and a peach. And I want to say there might be like a darker orange for darker skin tones as well, but I can't even place what this scent is, but it does not agree with me at all. And while this is $1, I can't really fault it for having cheap packaging. If you look closely, I hope you can see this, but this might be blending in a little too much with my hands. No, there, it adjusted, but the doe foot is crooked. And I know for $1, you tend to get what you pay for, but at least put the doe foot on straight. Well, let's push out the negative. Try to bring some more positivity into what is becoming 2022. I not only have a top 5, I have 2 honorable mentions. And these were honorable mentions because while they were in project pans, I did not finish them. They were in project pans for usage goals and to hit pan, but not to finish. But I really liked both of these products, so I figured I would mention them since this is what I do for a favorites video. Now, here they are. First is the Tarte Breezy Cream Bronzer in Seashells, but it's spelled Seychelles. Now, I don't particularly like cream bronzers, but I like this. Like, as you can see, I not only hit pan, I have hit side pan at this point. This is a really nice cream bronzer, and I'm not the only person that thinks that. I've seen other people put it in their yearly favorites. And it is a bronzer, not like a contour product, so it is a little on the warm side, but it works, and you can blend it out, and it actually works for like lighter skin tones. Now, I don't know this for certain, but because it has a shade name on here, and isn't just the Breezy Cream Bronzer, I assume there are darker shades as well. I will make a note whether I am actually correct on that or not, but I am thinking that there are other shades of this. The other product I have is the Fenty Beauty Kilowatt Foil Freestyle Highlighter in Sandcastle. I will admit this is not the perfect shade for me, but I can blend it in enough that I don't care. Because this is admittedly a beautiful highlighter. Now, my original goal for this in a project pan was only to use it 20 times, but because I like to use it in my inner corner a lot, I wound up hitting pan and rolled it into another project. But this, y'all, I mean, everybody knows that these highlights are gorgeous. Y'all know it's pretty. Like I said, it's a little dark, but I can blend it in, mix it with a little bit of my actual face powder, and I can make it work. And it's absolutely stunning as an eyeshadow, both in the inner corner and all over your lid, depending on how much you want to pack it on. And the formula is just really nice. It blends really well. Like I said, everybody already knows this, but this was the first one of these that I had. And this was definitely the first time that I had used it more than just a few times. Especially a shade that I can actually wear every day if I want to. Not like, say, a pink or purple one like I got from BoxyCharm. I think it was actually BoxyLuxe, and I'm not hating on that at all. I love those kind of duochrome fun shade highlighters. I have a ton of them. But I don't necessarily want to wear bright pink on my face every day, whereas so long as I'm wearing a more warm toned look, I can definitely wear this every day. So, loved those two, but they are not finished products, thus is really the only reason why they are honorable mentions, or else I would probably have knocked something else out of here for one of them. Maybe not the bronzer, but definitely if I had finished the highlighter this year, I would have knocked something else out of here. But something else in here would have been an honorable mention instead, is more what I mean, because I did like a lot of what I used up this year. Like, I won't say it was a struggle to find 5, but I don't know if I could have found too many more than the 5 that I really did not like. Now, to get into the actual 5, these are not in any order, by the way, because I don't know what I would put at the top. First is something unfortunately you can't get anymore, but definitely if you have this in your collection somewhere, use it. And one of the main reasons why I put it in here is because of how great a freaking value it was. This is a Milani powder eyeshadow in French Vanilla. Now this is a 3.1 gram eyeshadow. It's French Vanilla, so this one in particular was just a matte white. I used it to set my eyeshadow primer and to blend out my crease shades. This thing took me like freaking 10 months to use up as like an everyday, well, every day that I wore makeup product of that nature. So this is huge. The packaging did break along the way, but I looked up the original price. This was only like $4.50 for that much freaking eyeshadow for a good eyeshadow. That is an amazing value, and I kind of understand why Milani might have gotten rid of them. I do still have one of these in a bronzy shade that is really pretty that I know I should pan at some point because even powder products don't last forever. So I'm sure I will enjoy that, but I did want to mention this just for the value alone. It was an amazing product. I admittedly was a little relieved at the end when I finished it, but you pan something for 10 months straight and see if you're not at least a little relieved when it's done. I guess I'll talk about the two primers next. First is a mattifying primer, which is no shock to anybody that knows me and knows my skin. I have almost horrifically oily skin. It's a mixture of my actual skin and where I live. I live in South Louisiana. It is hot and humid here, like 9 months out of the year. We get a little bit of a break in winter and maybe for a month in spring. But beyond that, it is hot and humid all the time. It just got cold here that I think it's going to actually like stay cold. So mattifying primers and more mattifying foundations are what I really love. This is the Smith & Colt Black Drop Mattifying Face Primer. I have a full size of this, which is why I panned the mini I have of it this year. I bought the full size because I fell in love with a sample and it popped up on an Ulta 21 Days of Beauty round. But this made me absolutely positive that I love the damn thing. Now, is there a little bit that I could squeeze out to at least show you guys, or did I? No, here's a tiny bit. I was managed to get a little bit now. When you see this, it looks insane. Like, Black Drop is not, you know, just a silly name. It is black. You actually do need to, like, make a note to really rub it in. I will say that. But once you do, this stuff keeps me matte all day. I love it. I'm thrilled to still have it in my collection. And if I use up my next one, if my full-size one next year, I will probably purchase the damn thing again despite having 8,000 primers. Not literally, but sometimes it feels that way. Because it is an amazing primer if you have oily skin. And even at full price, it's like, I want to say $32 because I think I paid $16 for this. I will correct myself if I'm wrong, but it's not horrifically expensive for something that actually works in this balmy ass humidity that we get here most of the time. Yeah. Something I would probably not wear in the worst of the humidity, but, you know, late fall to and early spring, plus, you know, winter in general. This was really nice. I panned this more towards late fall. This is the Milk Makeup Hydro Grip Primer. Now, they are not kidding with the hydro part. It is pretty moisturizing. That said, it still hung on to my makeup all day. The grip is not a lie either. Now, this felt really nice going onto the skin because I tried another gripping primer the other day and it was very, very sticky and it was not terribly pleasant to use. Because I thought, oh, well, maybe it'll be like similar to this. And feeling wise, it is not. So it made me really miss this. I do have a like travel size that I got in a kit that I will probably be panning next year. But I really enjoyed using this and I went through it fairly quickly too. That's like my one complaint about this was like, I feel like I went through it super quick. But it just feels really good on the skin. No, it doesn't necessarily keep me matte, but I don't get super greasy with it either. And it still keeps my foundation on my face, which when I get super hot and sweaty is a feat. Now next is actually a lip balm, which feels a little silly to put in, but I think I have lip balms in here every time I have done one of these. Last year, I know I mentioned the Tarte Lip Quench, which is just like my general absolute favorite. And I have gone through one this year, but I figured I should put in something different, and I did really, really like this. This is the Galactic Jello Gloss Balm. Now, the texture of this can be a little... Well, this is one that you don't want to roll up all the way and then try to roll back down because it might get stuck. Because the name Jello is not a lie. I feel like I have to say this for every, product, but it's not a lie. It really is like a kind of thick Jello jelly consistency. However, it is really moisturizing, which, awesome, but it smells amazing. It smelled Yeah, it still smells. It smells like some kind of candy that I can't quite place, but something definitely like fruity. And I know that this is a little on the expensive side for what equates to basically a chapsticky lip balm. Like I want to say it's like $16. But if I had Wayless lip balm in my collection, I would straight up repurchase this. Even if I had to like go to their website to repurchase it, I don't care. It was just wonderfully pleasant to use. So definitely really enjoyed that. And the last product, one that I only used up last month, honestly, is the Too Faced Peach Perfect Mattifying Loose Setting Powder. Once again, you see a trend, I like mattifying products. Now, first off, I love the smell of this. It does have that kind of like peach fig scent. And if you don't like that, obviously you're not going to like this, so. But this translucent shade isn't the most translucent in the world, but it does work for me. And I know that they have like a darker translucent shade too, which is nice. Unfortunately, I think they have discontinued this. Now, I mentioned in my probably Empties video recently that this was still available on their website for the full price, so I'm fairly certain they have not discontinued it all the way. It's now on sale. Did I buy a backup of the full size that I have? Yes, I did. Did I need it? No, but I really love this, not just for the smell, but because this thing actually keeps me matte without feeling heavy and cakey on my face. And that can be kind of hard to find in powder form, because I do powder the absolute crap out of my face every time I wear makeup. I should probably try to see if I can figure out something along my skincare routine that I can probably improve the oiliness a little bit, but I haven't figured out anything like that yet. If you have any recommendations, please throw them at me. I will definitely try them out, but for the most part, I have to kind of correct the oiliness with makeup and blotting halfway through the day, and that's the best I've found so far. I mean, before I realized that primers were a thing, I just couldn't keep makeup on my face. It would just all slide off. Whew. Luckily, I did learn about primers. But that is it. Thank you guys for tuning in. As always, I do really appreciate it, especially in this rambly ass video. And hopefully, I will see you later. Bye!